All right, guys, so the last group of protocols that we're going to introduce is on this big, robust issue of disinfecting. As we stated earlier, you guys are actually really good at the idea of disinfecting. In most cases, this is one of the biggest challenges that you guys are facing right now. The one thing we want to do today is really help delineate between the disinfecting that you're doing with your equipment and the disinfecting that's going to be needed for the floor. The real challenge that we want to make sure that we're continuing to force into the fitness industry is that your surfacing, your flooring is probably one of the key pieces, and in our mind, one of the most important pieces of equipment in your facility. Not only because bodies are interacting with it and it has such an impact on the people's lives in the space, but it is also your biggest surface. And disinfecting needs to be critically addressed as it relates to flooring, because if these microorganisms are not hitting your equipment or not hitting all these touch points like handles or faucets in your bathrooms, they're landing on the floor. We're going to be giving you two different processes. One is going to be a very straightforward process that's using your traditional type spray delivery systems, but also using very general EPA related chemistries that you guys are all getting for your other surfaces, and it'll work fine in that environment. What we are going to be showing you is a more robust delivery mechanism, which is a fogger. And this fogger is a much more aggressive way for you to not only coat your flooring, but more robustly cover the rest of the surfaces in your space. Earlier we talked about the idea that maintenance and cleaning are different. Disinfecting and cleaning are different as well. This is going to be very simple, but a dirty floor can be disinfected and a clean floor can be infected. And those are really clear challenges that we want to make sure, as it relates to the surfacing, that you guys keep on your mind as you start to develop your own protocols around disinfecting moving forward.
One of the primary goals today of this protocol is to discuss the importance of disinfecting when it comes to floors. The CDC recommends using EPA-registered products to successfully kill viruses and bacteria. The most important thing you need to achieve when applying disinfectant to kill bacteria, viruses on a surface is dwell time. On the back of the label of each different disinfectant, because they are different, it'll tell you how long you need to have that liquid on a surface in order to kill up to 99.9% of things living there. At Ecore, we're going to recommend using EPA-registered products in order to successfully kill viruses and bacteria. What we're going to show you today is using an ultra-low volume spraying application of our disinfectant. What this process does, it has the capability of covering large spaces in a quick and efficient amount of time. This is ideal for fitness centers, anywhere where you have a big space that needs to be disinfected uniformly in a quick matter of time. But there's different ways to apply these disinfectants. You can use one of these machines we're about to show you, or you can use a pump sprayer, a trigger sprayer. You can wipe down surfaces. You just need to make sure you follow the instructions on the back of the label to ensure that you are successfully killing the bacteria and viruses on the surface. In the fitness industry, you guys are used to cleaning and disinfecting your equipment, your weights, the typical high touch points you find in a fitness center. The one that's being neglected at this time is the floor. It is one of the most critical cross-contamination surfaces in your space. At Ecore, we recommend this is done at a minimum of once a day. In certain areas of your facility, like group fitness, this process may have to be done in between classes to help disinfect the prior group that was in that area. Because in these areas, people are actually physically interacting with the floor. In a group fitness room where you have a clear open room and you need to disinfect the flooring, the best way to do that may be to apply the disinfectant using your traditional mop and bucket. The unique thing about the system that we're recommending here at Ecore is that this disinfectant can be sprayed again on all of your surfaces, and there's no wiping off required afterwards. In these trying times, we know supply of these disinfectants are a challenge, and you're going to hear about people using different things out there to disinfect their surfaces. You cannot be a disinfectant unless it's an EPA registered product in the United States. The two ways I would recommend distributing the disinfectant is your traditional pump sprayer or trigger sprayer, where you can wet the surface, let it dwell, then wipe it up. Or if you want to go to the next level and cover more square footage, rapidly, you can use our ultra low volume spraying application. As we're getting ready to treat this area, I want to explain to you a little bit about some of the PPE you should be using. Here's a traditional hazmat suit. The reason you would wear this is if you're walking into an area where you think is contaminated with a virus and you want to protect yourself. Another reason you'd wear this is if you're using a disinfectant that has adverse effects if it gets into contact with human skin. Please read the safety data sheet before applying anything, even with this machine. The other thing I want to show you is a respirator. The reason we wear the respirator is because of the way our disinfectant is coming out of the ULV machine that we're recommending. This protects you from breathing in the area that's fogged, disinfected at the time of application. Once that fog settles, you can then be safely in the room without wearing a respirator. The protective equipment is to protect you while using the system like the ULV. If you're not using a ULV and you're using traditional pump sprayers or trigger sprayers, you do not need to protect yourself with this personal protective equipment. This machine's also good to use in your restrooms where there are classic high touch points such as light switches, faucets, flushers, things of that nature. At Ecore, these protocols are mainly focused on your floors, but what's unique about this method is you can be helping disinfect all surfaces in a room as well as the floor.